was not demolished, had, that all the reasons were prime because these fellows ran away. That was exactly the reason. I'll tell you another thing. You see, immediately when you arrest somebody, it has a tremendous impact because, people get to know. And that's exactly the reason why they escaped. They wanted a breather for a few 5 days so that things cool down. And now that they'll, of course, be coming back because there is no other option left for them. That's why.
All right. Many thanks to you, Mr. Azad, for putting that into perspective and for sharing those precious insights for us. Now, remember, the deportation process has already kick-started. The immigration formalities are going to be completed soon. CNN News 18 has been on the top of this story since day one. And we've been bringing you all the ground reports, covering all possible angles that are surrounding the story, whether it is to do with the deportation process or addressing the illegalities surrounding this entire nightclub. Also, perhaps now bringing into the larger picture are the other nightclubs and their safety fire norms. Let's quickly bring you a report by Arunima.
Have been detained. They're being brought to the Phuket airport. Immigration services will ensure that all their immigration documents are checked, and after those legal formalities are completed, the brothers are likely to be handed over to Indian authorities. What we are told is that on the outskirts of Phuket, they were in a resort from where Thai authorities first identified them, and then the process of detention was carried out. Interpol was informed, and then the Indian authorities were also taken into confidence. So their run away from the law of the land is finally coming to an end in Thailand. Anytime now, they're likely to board the flight and reach Delhi.
Quickly getting in more breaking inputs. So far as Arunima was also highlighting right now, what we're being told is that the Luthra brothers have been detained in Phuket, and in fact they have been brought to the airport there. The Indian authorities have been working in tandem with the Thai authorities using the Interpol channels. As Mr. Azad, the former IPS officer, was also breaking down for you what the entire procedure is like. Remember, the FIR has to be shared with the Thai embassy, and all of that has been happening through multiple channels. It's not just the Goa Police, it is also the Thai Police that is coordinating with the Goa Police, of course keeping the Ministry of External Affairs also in the loop. But what we can tell you is that the Luthra brothers are currently en route Phuket airport. Let's quickly take that forward with Ankur and Yesha, who continue to stay with us. So Ankur, if I may begin with you, the entire procedure of having tracked them down, give us a sense of how did Interpol help the Indian authorities in tracking them down? We are being told that they were spotted, or rather taken away from a resort where they were seeking refuge in Phuket.
Yeah, certainly. So Interpol is basically the international police networks which deals with in this kind of cases with the cooperation of law enforcement agency. Whenever Interpol in India, the CBI is the nodal agency for Interpol. So whenever any agency issues any level of notices, which includes blue corner, red corner is the highest. So in blue, one country has to find out the addresses of the person and also the other information related to the person against whom the blue corner notice has been issued. In this case also, it seems that Thailand authorities must have checked their visa formalities, where they have mentioned about their where exactly they are residing. So once after the request of Indian agencies, it seems that they visited the place and finally detained them, and probably they'll be sending them to detention center. And after that, Indian agencies will be going there, and a final handover note would be prepared by Thailand authorities. And after that, Indian agencies will get the handover of Luthra brothers, and then they will be coming back to India. Back to you.
All right, going to request you, Ankur and Yesha, to continue staying with us. Let's quickly take our viewers through the CNN News 18 mega exclusive inside details of how the arrest actually has happened. Let's break it down for you, how the agencies actually tracked down the Luthra brothers. Remember, the Indian and Thai agencies have been working. They've been in constant touch. Intel, in fact, pinpointed the targets outside the main city limits. There was a joint operation which was successfully conducted on 11th of December, which is today. That's when the Luthra brothers have been detained just a while ago. Immigration process is currently on, is what we are being told. As Ankur was also highlighting, they will be handed over by the Thai authorities. In fact, these are inputs brought to us by Manoj Gupta, Security Affairs Editor. Luthras are expected to return by late night today or tomorrow is the big breaking input that we are bringing to you. This is an exclusive input brought to us by Manoj Gupta. Let's quickly go across to former Uttar Pradesh DGP, Mr. Vikram Singh, who's joining me on the phone line. Mr. Singh, this is in fact a huge shot in the arm for not just Indian authorities, but also goes on to speak volumes about the close coordination that's been done with the Thai authorities and of course through the right channels of the Interpol.
Yes, indeed. Good morning. This is some consolation that the Luthra brothers have now been identified, apprehended, and it's only a matter of time before they land in India by late tonight. And the credit goes to NEA, the close coordination between the two governments of India and Thailand, because it's a tedious process, a cumbersome process, but the manner in which it has been put on a fast-forward mode to get India's most wanted, the both of them, to India. And I think the real work will begin and the investigation will start the moment they land in India. Again, it's a tedious journey, an elaborate job, but I'm sure that this is a beginning, and I think a good beginning has been made now, and there should be some consolation.
Mr. Singh, for the benefit of our viewers, if you could shed more light on why it is to do, how different is this deportation process, and is it actually related to the extradition treaty or not? Why is it not related if it is indeed?
It is related to the extradition treaty, and if you are a party and agree to that, and then the working and the cordial relations between the two countries would make all the difference. You may recall that David Coleman Medley of USA Joe wanted the 2611 carnage, but we were not able to get him. Therefore, the relationship between the two countries, the pursuit by the NEA, and also putting up a case very strongly before the host country that will make the difference and the game changer.
Absolutely. And how do you think this should be now taken forward, especially when it comes to, say, all of those who look towards an easy escape, sometimes to European countries, sometimes to, say, in this case, as we've seen in the case of the Luthra brothers, it's been Thailand. Do you think that any system needs to be put in place? Because it's also brought into the limelight the intent of these brothers, and many questions are now being raised with regards to why couldn't they be stopped at the immigration counters here in India.
A very relevant point. You will understand that UK and quite a few other countries, Canary Islands, etc., have become safe havens for fugitives of justice, not only from India but right across the world. Pay your way, get citizenship, and get the immunity from deportation. But that, as you very rightly mentioned, the UN, the Interpol, and the World Association will have to come, because crime today is not national, it's not localized, it is international. And today, if it does not impact the host country, in times to come, it is bound to impact the host country. Therefore, it is in everybody's interest, international interest, the world's interest, to have a common agreement that any fugitive of justice will not get a safe haven or a hiding hole in the host country.
Many thanks to you, Mr. Singh, for bringing us all those details and adding your precious insights to that news story, which is developing by the minute. And remember, it is CNN News 18, your channel, that's bringing you all the latest developments over here. In the latest, what we can tell you is that the Luthra brothers, the deportation process has begun, and perhaps you can expect them to arrive in India tonight or perhaps by morning tomorrow. Let me quickly take that forward with Ankur and Yesha, who are with us as well. So, Ankur, to highlight the process, once they arrive, what happens next is also the other key critical question.
Yeah, one thing I would like to clarify to our viewers, that this is the extradition is different and the deportation is different. In this case, this is deportation. Extradition requires the much lengthy legal local process, and in deportation, it is very easy for any nation to send back the persons who have not qualified the complete process of residing in that particular country. So in this case, it will be very easy for Indian agencies, since already the deportation process has already begun. And it is also important for India that the local authorities easily hand over the Luthra brothers to Indian agencies, and this it requires a routine. It takes approximately 1 or 2 hours to complete the process, and after completing the documentation, the Indian authorities would finally get the handover of Luthra brothers, and they have to submit the copy of FIR and the charges against them, since it is culpable homicide and not amounting to murder. In this case, the police has said that they were aware that in this case the intention was not to kill anyone, but they were aware that yes, this particular step of us can take lives. So certainly they were aware about the intensity of their working. And in this case, now this has to be briefed by the Thai authorities, and after satisfying the Thai authorities, the documentation will end once it is Thai authorities are satisfied with the Indian side, and after that Indian authorities would be getting Luthra brothers back to India.
Stay with me, Ankur. In fact, CNN News 18 is currently in Phuket, trailing the Luthra brothers as they are deported. As Ankur has also been highlighting, the deportation process has begun. It's of course different from, in fact, the procedures that are involved with the extradition treaty. Let's quickly play out a ground report by Arunima. She's currently in Phuket. Let's play that out for you.
So this is news that is just coming in that the Luthra brothers have been detained. They're being brought to the Phuket airport. Immigration services will ensure that all their immigration documents are checked, and after those legal formalities are completed, the brothers are likely to be handed over to Indian authorities. What we are told is that on the outskirts of Phuket, they were in a resort from where Thai authorities first identified them, and then the process of detention was carried out. Interpol was informed, and then the Indian authorities were also taken into confidence. So their run away from the law of the land is finally coming to an end in Thailand. Anytime now, they're likely to board the flight and reach Delhi.
All right, getting in more breaking inputs. This is a CNN News 18 mega exclusive brought to us by Security Affairs editor Manoj Gupta. This is about how the Luthra brothers were tracked, the inside story of their arrest. Top government sources say the operation began when Indian immigration detected the suspect's exit to Thailand. The information then was passed to the Thai police, and the Thai immigration confirmed their entry. That was the very critical key point when the coordination began. Remember, the police then raided multiple locations, and although the suspects had shifted once, they were finally found. The legal process was then started, and they are expected to be deported soon. As Manoj Gupta has been reporting for us, we are being told it should happen tonight or by tomorrow. Let's quickly take this forward with Aman Sharma, who's joining me live from the newsroom. Aman, if you can take us through how this entire process has also brought to light the close coordination through the channels of Interpol between the Thai security authorities and their Indian counterparts as well.
Well, Akanksha, clearly this is quick work done by the Indian authorities in close coordination with Interpol as well as the Thailand authorities, as the facts are now emerging that India was already on their track. They were closely coordinating with the Thai authorities for the last few days, ever since the Luthras, make good their escape on this 5:30 a.m. flight on December 7th, just a few hours after this blaze had consumed their Goa outlet, killing 25 people. And we broke this last night that 1:17 a.m. they had booked their flight on a travel portal, and 5:30 a.m. they were out of India. They were on this flight to Phuket. Since then, Indian agencies have been on their hunt, and close coordination was mounted with the Thai authorities. As our internal security editor Manoj Gupta is now reporting, that this is also a classic case because extraditions, Akanksha, take a long time. It's a legal process. You have to go through multiple courts. India has handled such extradition proceedings in various other foreign courts. We all know the cases where it has been long pending for many years, and India clearly did not want to go that route. I think what has happened here very clearly is that India has closely coordinated with Interpol, the Thai authorities, for immediate deportation of the Luthra brothers, because they have a criminal case pending here. I think the criminal proceedings were weighed upon by the Thai authorities, that look, they are facing a very serious criminal case. They have absconded from India to escape being prosecuted in that, and that is why India wants them back. And yesterday also, Akanksha, because the court, the local court in Rohini did not give them any immediate protection from an arrest. I think that has also contributed in their immediate detention by the Thai authorities. And as the information we're getting through Manoj Gupta, our internal security editor, that by tonight, the Luthras could be back in either Mumbai or Delhi. They could be put back on the flight to Delhi. This is extremely quick and decisive work by India, and blunts that criticism which was also coming the way of the agencies that you could not stop the Luthras from escaping the country. Yet another abscond has absconded from the country. I think all that is getting addressed, and we could see the Luthras back in India either tonight or tomorrow.
All right, stay with me, Aman. I can see Yesha and Ankur are also back with us. So Ankur, quick, for the benefit of our viewers, important to highlight why the deportation process has been kick-started, and it's not the route that's being taken via the extradition treaty. Why so?
So extradition treaty is required in some different cases, which Aman has already clarified. It's a lengthy process. It requires the local court intervention also. Then after the approval and a long process of fighting in the local court, only then the person can extradite, be it Tabu, Rana, and other cases also. In this particular case, deportation is much easier. And in previous cases also, there have been multiple cases where the people Indians from Afghanistan, from Dubai and Middle East, they went to there, and finally they were deported over the passport issues. So certainly the deportation process is much easier. It is the Indian authorities, started had taken multiple steps in different directions. Initially they started cancelling the passports of their Luthra brothers, and meanwhile the Interpol also issued the blue corner notice to ask the Thai authority to find out the whereabouts the Luthra brothers. So certainly this has now come to an end, and very soon, within 12 or 14 hours, the Luthra brothers will be coming back to India.
Stay with me. I want to take one more question, and that with Yesha. Yesha, take us through how authorities able to track them down at all the way to a resort in Phuket where they were actually seeking refuge. Inputs coming in from Manoj Gupta, in fact, also go on to indicate that they even tried to bluff the authorities by changing one location.
Absolutely. In fact, the whole process started here from Goa, wherein the Interpol and CBI were approached stating that a blue corner notice should be issued against the Luthra brothers. When that really happened was where the agencies started working with their counterparts in Thailand. Now the tracking, because clearly it was found out by Goa Police and the central agencies that they'd escaped to Phuket in Thailand, and they'd gotten the exact details of the timing that the flight was taken, the booking that was done. So from there, they got hold of the immigration details of the Luthra brothers. Now, then the tracking was to be done by the Indian immigration. After details were shared that they were in Thailand, Thai police was informed about the same. Now here, like you in fact been discussing with Ankur that this was not an extradition process that was followed despite India having a treaty with Thailand, but Thai police was approached in this case. Indian teams were at Phuket airport, and apart from that, when we speak of this.
Stay with me, Yesha. I think you can figure out your location right now. But quickly to take our viewers through all the latest inputs we are getting in right now, what we are being told is that all the action is now gradually moving over to Phuket. This is the place where they have been deported as far as the Phuket airport is concerned. And after the Thai authorities hand over the Luthra brothers, we can expect them to arrive. Let me take that forward with Aman, who continues to stay with us from the newsroom. So Aman, what are you learning in terms of, all right, I'm in fact also joined in by former IPS officer Ms. Kiran Bedi on the phone line. Thank you so much, Ms. Bedi, for joining in. If you can take me through your understanding of this entire deportation process that has started, and what does it speak of the close coordination with which the Indian authorities have coordinated via the Interpol channel with their Thai counterparts?
Hearing me?
Yes, Ms. Bedi, please go on.
Well, it is if you work with and seek caution and follow the due process of law, and it works. It shows it works. The immediate red collar notice was issued and the authorities apprised, and information was known that they've flown out, and sharing of this information, I think it has worked. It shows that if you work with speed and professionalism, it works, it helps.
Is this now becoming a living example, given that India is trying to extradite many of those who are currently sitting in various other countries, particularly those in Europe? Is this now an example for authorities to go back?
Yeah, if red collar notices are issued early and keeping track.
All right, we'll try and reconnect. Right. Please go ahead, Ms. Bedi. There was some problem with the network.
Acha. It was.
All right, we seem to have lost that connection. Unfortunately, we'll try and bring her back, but let me take that forward with Aman, who continues to stay with us from the newsroom as well. So, Aman, as Ms. Bedi was also highlighting right now, a very key critical point over here is, of course, the timing. Everybody was prompt and there was due diligence done in terms of the action needed.
Well, absolutely, Akanksha. See, 7th morning since they escaped, and today is the 11th. Within 4 days, if India is able to get these fugitives back from Thailand, I think it's a big achievement, because in other cases, the process has taken much, much longer. So I think as Kiran Bedi was also mentioning, the immediate issuance of the blue corner notice, the providing of the information from the Indian immigration, because as soon as the Indian immigration realized that they have taken this flight at 5:30 a.m. on the morning of the 7th, the Thailand authorities also realized that they had landed in Thailand that same morning. They were tracked since then. That is what the information that we're getting. The resort they went to, the resort they changed, all was getting tracked. And because this blue corner notice was already there from the Interpol, which essentially seeks information on people who are facing prosecution but are evading the law, the Thailand authorities, I think, also realized the gravity of the matter. 25 people dying here in Goa in the place which these people ran, and then they ran away from the country. So I think all action now, Akanksha, is shifting to the Phuket airport. What we are learning through our reporters is that these brothers could soon be brought from this detention center where the raid was carried out in the morning, where the place where they were staying, they were taken to a detention center, and now they could soon be on a flight back to India. They will be brought to the Phuket airport, handed over to an Indian team which is already waiting for them, and then they will be immediately deported from Phuket back to Delhi. They could be brought to Delhi and then produced in a court here and then taken on a transit remand, maybe to Goa, like the other arrests have happened. The same route has been followed, and all this is very, very likely. Later today, I think the action will happen on the Phuket airport.
All right, stay with me on that note, as Aman just now highlighted, that all the action is now moving over to the Phuket airport. What we are telling you, some breaking inputs coming in, that the action has picked up now at the Phuket airport since the Luthra brothers were tracked down to a resort in Thailand. What we are being told is that the Indian and Thai agencies have, of course, been in constant touch. They are in touch with the Thai police, and the Indian team is also present at the airport for the Luthra's custody. What we are being told is that the Thai agencies will in fact be handing them over. The Indian embassy officials are also currently present at the Phuket airport. Let's quickly take that forward with Arunima, who's currently in Phuket. Arunima, what are you telling us about who all are present currently at the Phuket airport, and how much time we should expect for the formalities and procedures to get over?
So the immigration will take some time. Here at the airport, those formalities will have to be completed. And if you recall, this detention happened because there was a blue notice. The difference between a blue and a red notice. A red notice means that you will have to detain and ensure that the person does not leave your port. For a blue notice, what happens is that you inform the concerned agencies. If you, in this case, for example, the Thai authorities inform their Indian counterparts that we have spotted the Luthra brothers against whom you have issued a blue notice. And then from there, the Indian authorities took over. There is a warrant pending against their name, so that is being used by Indian agencies to coordinate with their Thai counterparts to ensure that the immigration formalities are completed at the earliest, and then the Luthra brothers are put on a flight to India. In all likelihood, they will be flown to Delhi directly from Phuket. And there, a transit remand will be taken to take them further to Goa. The Goa Police is also coordinating. In fact, we are told that this detention happened because they got a tip-off that in the Kathu district of Phuket, this is where the Patong beach is located. This is an area which is very touristy. A lot of resorts there, and if you see the social media profile of the Luthra brothers, they were frequent to Phuket. So they knew the area well, they knew the locals well. So they tried to, change resorts there after landing on first day. But the Thai authorities told their Indian counterparts, this is what sources tell us, that they had constant information about their movement. And once the correct paperwork was completed, they just moved for the detention.
All right. And let's also talk about the intent of the Luthra brothers. Do you think that that is now going to become a huge bone of contention over here, given that not only did they book their tickets 1 hour after the inferno took place and take off for Phuket by 5:30 a.m., the fact that they also tried to change location and bluff the Thai authorities, it is the overall intention which is now also going to be probed.
So in the Rohini court, where Siddharth Luthra was representing them yesterday, he said they were on a work trip. If they were on a work trip, they will have to prove that these tickets were booked way in advance and not in a jiffy. So around midnight is when this inferno began, and within 1 hour, like at 1:17 on the MMT platform, as per Goa Police, they had booked their ticket. So if this was indeed booked at 1 hour 17 minutes after the inferno, it doesn't really show that they were leaving on work, because you get to know that your employees have died. You get to know that there's a fire in your premises. Why would you suddenly pick up your bag and go on a work trip unless it is pre-scheduled? So the onus is on them to prove that this ticket was booked way in advance, that it was a pre-scheduled visit to Phuket. Second, they said that they want to come back and participate in the process of investigation, cooperate with the people who are probing. The point is, why did it take them 4 days? This petition was moved in Rohini court on 10th. When this inferno happened on 7th, that's when they moved out. So it took them 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 4 full days to realize that they must come back to India. And for that also, they were seeking an anticipatory bail. So the conduct definitely is something prosecution will highlight to show that they had ill intention and they were not wanting to face the rule of law after this inferno at their premises.
You also shared information with us with regards to how they will first arrive in the national capital and after that they will be taken on a transit remand to Goa. Why is Goa so critical at the moment?
See, the jurisdiction is of Goa Police because this crime has happened in Goa and the law is very clear. If you have, the crime has occurred in a place, then the trial also has to happen there. So jurisdictional issues make it pertinent that Goa Police gets custody. However, a Phuket-Goa direct flight might not be feasible immediately, and that's why they'll be brought to Delhi, and from there onwards via transit remand to Goa.
All right. Many thanks to you, Arunima, for bringing us all those latest inputs. We will keep coming back to you. Arunima reporting from Phuket over there. Our Aman, Yesha and Ankur continue to stay with me. So let me quickly go across to Aman as well. So Aman, if you look at the overall procedures, as Arunima was also highlighting, that's going to take some time. But Indian embassy officials have also been very quick, and a word out there also for the Ministry of External Affairs, as reports are also indicating that perhaps their passports have also been revoked.
Well, yes, Akanksha, it seems like a full team effort. As I was saying earlier, that the moment they escaped on the 7th morning, a lot of questions were being asked that how were they allowed to escape? Was it an oversight by authorities? Did the Goa police not inform the Delhi police in advance? Did they not issue the lookout notice in time that helped these brothers escape? Well, the circumstances clearly show that the brothers were very quick on their feet, if I can say like that. Within an hour of the fire engulfing their Goa premises, they had already booked their tickets. They were at the airport maybe at 2:33 a.m. and they took this 5:30 a.m. flight out of Goa. But ever since the authorities realized this, I think the tracking has been on from Indian immigration. We saw this picture of one of the Luthra brothers coming from the Phuket airport. So clearly the Thai authorities were also aware that these brothers had landed in Phuket. Where they went in Phuket was also being tracked, as our reporters are now bringing us forth that they stayed at one location, then they changed that location. They were clearly trying to evade the authorities because they knew the heat was on them, and sooner or later the authorities will catch up with them. But I think the way the Indian establishment, the Ministry of External Affairs, our police forces, our CBI through the Interpol, how they have weighed in on the Thai authorities to also build this kind of a diplomatic, pressure that these brothers should be handed over back to India. And India and Thailand have excellent diplomatic relations over the years, and this bilateral relationship has really worked wonders. I think in this particular case that the long process of extradition is being avoided. Now clearly a quick deportation is happening, and we could see them back on the flight to Delhi by tonight. That is what we are hearing.
All right, stay with me, Aman. The key critical questions is what CNN News 18 has been bringing to you, and the biggest question that still remains unanswered: why did it have to take a tragedy and 25 innocent lives for the government to finally crack the whip? Why are we saying so? Because a paper trail of complaints against Birch by Romeo Lane starting December 2023 reveals that the popular spot, which turned into an inferno on Saturday, had been flagged by villagers and even environmental activists for flouting norms, but their efforts went in vain. First up is a demolition notice that is dated back to December 20th, 2023, 2 years ago. It mentions unauthorized construction of shops, restaurants and structures at the site. This is that very document that we are playing out for you. All right, now on my screen is the first picture of both the Luthra brothers, Gaurav and Saurav Luthra over there. As you can see, it is the Thai authorities, and with their passports, they have been captured over here at the Phuket airport. This is that moment which shows how close coordination and timely effort between authorities of both the countries can lead to a timely deportation process of those who have been accused in, say, a crime like the Goa nightclub inferno. Over there, both you can see are Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra over there with their passports and accompanied by one of the Thai officials over here. That's a big breaking input. First on CNN News 18, we're bringing to you this first image of the Luthra brothers captured from the Phuket airport. Remember, we've been telling you how all the action has shifted to Phuket airport. This after both the brothers were tracked down from a resort in Phuket. They even tried to change their location, but eventually the Thai authorities, in fact, were able to give a tip-off to their Indian counterparts because a blue corner notice was issued, and under a blue corner notice, the authorities are only liable to give you information about tracking those who are accused or involved in any crime. Let me quickly take that forward with Aman, who continues to stay with us on the broadcast. Aman, those images speaking 1,000 words at the moment, and also goes on to indicate that all action has shifted to the Phuket airport.
Well, yes, these are exclusive pictures being brought to us by our group security editor, Manoj Gupta. These are the Luthra brothers, Gaurav and Saurav Luthra. You can see them on the screen with the Thailand immigration authorities. This is the IMM, which is written. The Thailand immigration authorities and the Thailand officials are with both the brothers. Their passports are being shown. These are Indian passports of both these brothers, and the Thailand immigration authorities showing these passports along these brothers, both who have been detained. These are the first pictures of them being detained in Phuket. First on CNN News 18, you can see them, and this also shows very clearly, Akanksha, that the deportation process is very much on. Their passports already have been cancelled.